My name is Linh, and I have been in the community since its founding 25 years ago. And my wife, she's there. We are still acting as a team in many positions that we are called upon. Today, I will present the challenges of the second generation of the Vietnamese American in this society and also the church.
Không sao, sẽ đằng thầu.
First of all, I want to present the view of the parent, the expectation of the parent to their children. As you already heard, most Vietnamese come to the United States after the war around 80s, 90s, and later through the departure programs. As such, they come here virtually with no asset, no English, little education, but they have a dream to be free, a dream to free to worship and free of persecution. They struggle to start a new life with whatever a job they can find, whatever overtime they can get, to build a family for the future. And as parents, we are between three kinds of cultures. We are very unique in the Catholic Church here because we are not Westerner, we are Asian, influenced by the traditional Confucius with a hierarchy and very conformed society. And after that, as you heard, we are torn apart by the communist regime. And now we are very, very lucky to be in the open American society. First of all, as a parent, always, I prefer to use my language, my native language, the one I'm most comfortable with, to talk, to communicate with my children. That's the mother tongue. Right? Exactly. In the first few years, it's natural and easy. But when the kids go to school, now they still have to bring the partner. They will gradually forget the language. And with my children, I have 3 children. They are quite old now. But my daughter, she can speak the language very well. My 2 sons can understand some simple sentences, but none can write any sentences, unless they are attending some kind of language school. For that reason, the language barrier is a major problem in the conversation between the parents and the children. And many of the parents try to enforce the rule. You speak the native language Vietnamese at home. You are not allowed to speak English, also in the workplace. But I'm very doubtful the success rate of this kind of rule. Nevertheless, knowing another language is eventually a good asset to the future of the children. The second thing that I want to discuss about is respect. As you know, Francis already talked about, but I go to the perspective of the children and how we talk about respect here. In the respect here I talk about in terms of the family hierarchy and by age. It is commingled between the culture and the language. We have separated words for the member of the extended family: paternal, maternal, grandpa, grandma, uncle, aunt, and also the notion of older and younger. So total, we have about 16 distinct words to tell the person the family relationship. I very much like the word you and I over here. You, I, we are equal, right? In the conversation, but it's rude. In the Vietnamese, when you talk you and I, in the regular conversation. For example, when I say, when my kids say, Daddy, can I talk to you for a minute? Uh-oh, that is not the right way to say it. She say, Daddy, can son talk to Dad for a minute? Every person needs to spell out, not I and you in that sense. So it clearly shows the relative relationship between two persons. And it's not only within the members of the family, but for everyone I meet on the street. First, I should guess his age and compare with my age.
Yeah.
And I will try to use the appropriate word to call him and present myself in the context of member of a family. I still have very, very difficult for me to call a person because I cannot guess whether he's older uncle, younger uncle, or only an older brother. But I need to present the way that it will not offend the other person. And furthermore, if you're on the phone, how do I know the age of the other person? That's very, very difficult. And quite often, we just ask the age. And I don't think they feel offended for it. Maybe now, but maybe now, but before, we can ask the age freely, and so it's fine. And the people respect the age, so it's good. So if you're older, you're good, not bad.
The older you are.
Okay. So within that context, the older always receive the level of respect, and the younger is supposed to listen to the wiser man. So I talk about the respect in that particular context, and it's very obvious. And for that reason, for young people, when they want to speak to parent or to a friend, very hard for them to use the right word, and most often they keep away from it somehow. So that is one of the way that the Jew over here could face. The next one, we talk about criticism versus encouragement. Another cultural difference, I think, is the attitude toward criticism and encouragement. For example, when my son comes home with his good report card, I don't often look at how many A's he had. I look at the unfortunate B and C he had. And I criticize, why did you do better for these subjects? From the parent's perspective, criticize is to know the weak point for the kid to improve. But from the children's perspective, criticize is to push them down, and they have the feeling that my parent never happy about me. As the first generation come over, very disadvantaged, the best way for the future of the children virtually is true education. When I say education, that only means study, study, and study. The parent consider the sport or extracurricular in school actually interfere with their study and often discourage them to participate. The parent put enormous pressure to their children to follow what they perceive as success in the typical profession like healthcare, engineering, science. That is not in the profession their children love to follow. Is it true?
Yes.
She is one of the educators in our community, former educators. So we go to the next topics. In the identity recognition. As the first generation in America, I can easily identify myself as a Vietnamese, and gradually I become a Vietnamese American. But for the youth who's born in this country, he or she will question, is he or she a Vietnamese American or a pure American? He or she will often ask, do I need to speak, to read, to write my parents' language? Do I have to follow the tradition that my parents inherited and thrive off? Do I have to go to Mass every Sunday in Vietnamese with Father Peter? I don't even understand that fully. Why are my parents so strict? Why my friend parents are so easy? Who am I really? Some youth will not accept that identity and deny all association with his parent culture and mitigate to whatever the local culture is. There is neither right nor wrong answer, but the only thing is willing to explore. This is the identity crisis that the community is challenged to provide the answer. One, recognize the diversity, the youth will have a confidence and self-esteem for a better future. Fortunately, we have something to help to solve that the youth group. We try to bring them to explore that identity recognition. My wife and I have a privilege to work with the youth group in the community since its inception in, I think, 1996. I still remember every year the Vietnamese Catholic community would own the diocese in New Jersey and the surrounding areas, like in New York and Pennsylvania, make a pilgrimage to the Blue Army Shrine in Washington Township. And in that year, the Metuchen community was responsible for Station of the Cross. And we try to make something different, something more exciting, for the people to attend. So we call upon, all the high school children to make the allied outdoor Station of the Cross along the hillside of beautiful shrine at the Washington Township. And after, I think I have the picture. Oh, let's go back. All right. And well, it's technical problem. And after the Station of the Cross, when they come back, we go out the meeting, call them up, what do you want to do? That is not the end of it. And all the young people sit down, let's try to make a youth group. And that time, the youth group, we formed a youth group called Zone of the Earth. And we call it Family Sote. And that youth group, for 50 years now, is still assisting the community as of today through many up and down years. Although we, okay, here's the thing. Here we go, it's slow. Okay, so that is the start of the youth group in 1996. We meet regularly with all the activity, particularly support the community through all the events. But the most serious activity for us at the youth group is a 3-day weekend retreat, often directed by a Jesuit priest and normally modeled as a light spiritual exercise retreat. And the location, most often we went to the Don Bosco Retreat Center in Stony Hill at the border of New York and New Jersey. I can see and feel the joy from all of them in this retreat. When they cry, they laugh, they sing, and they pray together. To this day, many of them are still best friends and very faithful to the church. I think her picture somewhere in the corner there.
Yeah.
One of the difficulties in organizing these retreats is to find a director willing to spend time in the small group and to communicate effectively at the level that they can comprehend. Well, you will ask, do we speak Vietnamese or in all the activities? The answer is no. For all the activity for second generation, the language of choice, obviously English. This involves the CCD class, information class, and all the youth group. However, as Mrs. Thiel already said, the class teaching basic Vietnamese language is due to the one to attend. Now, the challenge is unfortunately this youth group have the high school only 3 or 4 years, and the turnover is very, very, very fast. And one, they off to college, bye-bye, no more youth group, and they need to bring the new members into the youth group. For this reason, the youth group has all the up and down cycle and very much depending upon the commitment and the energy of the young leaders. So we are lucky, and I have very, very good leader here. She will present next. And now she off for college. And I don't know when she will come back, but as the second generations now grow up, many of them to come back, even though they are only a short distance. It is a challenge for this community to bring these young adults back to participate and to serve. And I think, as a conclusion, this community should be a place to foster and to welcome all generations, sharing the same heritage in the Universal Catholic Church. And that's the end of my presentation.